destroy.
It hits you almost harder now.
Yeah, now you're like, holy fuck, that was a whole planet of people. And these motherfuckers just went, screw it, bang, see ya, thank you.
And one of the best things I think that Rogue One did was they went and they got... Well, first they got Genevieve O'Reilly to come back to do Mon Mothma, but they ended up cutting her scenes in Revenge of the Sith. So she wasn't technically in it, even though it was the same actress. But they brought Jimmy Smits back as Bail Organa, which was fantastic. And then you get that shot, toward the end of the film when they're at the Rebel base where he's like, I'm going back to Alderaan, and he's gonna contact Obi-Wan Kenobi and things like that. And like you're almost there as an audience member. You're like, don't go there. You don't want to go there. Nope. Nope. Don't go back there. No,
it's the equivalent of seeing a horror movie and having the person going, I'm just going to check downstairs. I'll be right back. It's like, no,
don't go check downstairs. Don't go down there.
No. It's the don't go upstairs. You know you're not going to get out and you're going to die.
Yeah.
It's the Nev Campbell of Scream. Come on now.
I'm just going to go check that noise, but first of all, I'm going to get in my underwear and walk very quietly and slowly with a knife. Yeah, you're dead.
Yeah.
You were dead.
Now, out of curiosity, at the very end where the two main characters are standing on the beach waiting for the explosion, did anybody else get the whole, deep impact thing going on there with the... Did you get that?
I went to a guy thing and just thought, if you've got a big wave coming in, you're going to die. Want to see some booby? Just lift the shirt for 2 minutes. There's nothing else you're going to see. But that would have been a different Disney movie. Different Disney movie, though. Yeah.
Yeah,
that would have made that movie all sorts of different.
Explain that to your kids.
That's Disney's Blue Room. I'm sorry, Disney's Blue Room.
Yeah. It's Disney After Dark.
Oh my god!
They just start boning in the middle of it. Why? Just because I can.
We get down on the beach and all of a sudden it's like, well, we've only got minutes left to live, so... What have you got to lose?
Why not?
Hey, I got 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where you inject that humor into it, where then they finish up and the explosion still hasn't reached them. It's like, okay, well, now what do we do?
Yeah. Awkward post-sex.
And she's like, I really thought that was going to last longer. The explosion's still not here yet.
I'm sorry, I had performance issues. Felt pressured against time.
Well, that was the first Big Bang for the day. Here comes the second. Good night, everybody. Peace out.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna ask you the probably the toughest question ever to ask.
Age-old
question. Do you have a favorite character in the entire Star Wars series? Is there a character that every time on the screen, if you have to dress up as a character, you're going to dress up as this one? And why is it Jar Jar Binks?
Because Jar Jar rocks. Man.
Jar Jar's the whole comedic center of this movie.
I love him.
And he should be aimed for the kids. That was a George Lucas quote, kind of.
If you think about it, this is one of my things that I've always said about the Phantom Menace, is that if you go back to the Phantom Menace and when they leave Naboo, which is like, I don't know, like 20 minutes, 25 minutes maybe into the movie, if they would have just left him there and you don't see him again until the very end of the movie when they come back, that movie would have been markedly improved. But it's because they decided to drag him along and then Lucas forces these silly comedic scenes in that are just really kind of out of place.
Where he sticks his head in the pod racer thing. It's just like, dude, come on.
It's like, I get what Lucas was trying to do, and like, especially when he's on Naboo, like at the beginning of the film, I don't even hate him at that point. I think it's perfectly fine. It's once they pull him out of that element and they really just try to force this comedic element onto you, it's like, okay.
I thought it was weird too, the fact, just on a Jar Jar Binks topic here, when he's meant to be the comedic foil and all that stuff, but when they go back to, is it his home planet, or they go under the water and stuff, and they realize he's a nerd and an outcast and they don't like him, and then it's like, oh, we should feel sad for Jar Jar. It's like, no, don't feel sorry for Jar Jar.
He killed people.
He did stuff. No, let him be.
Do you know who he reminds me of, though? We had this
Gareth.
Gorgeous. No.
You're still waiting for that.
No, he reminds me. We had this beautiful chocolate brown German short-haired pointer, and he was the dumbest, most lovable dog you've ever had. But he reminds me of that. You know, and when he sticks his tongue into the pod racer and his tongue's hanging out of his mouth, I'm looking at him going, that's my dog. I just patted him on the head. He's gorgeous. Let's go for it. Loved him. He was great.
I only wish if you think about just there's got to be a fan edit out there somewhere. If I had the time or the energy, I would do it myself, but I don't. But I mean, if you just remove him from every element of the film after they leave the planet the first time, and even like if you just have him in the background when you come back, like the whole they made him a general thing was also just like, good God, you know. There were some tragic missteps, especially in the Phantom Menace. That's why that's like my second worst among all the Star Wars films. A lot of people hate on the second one because I don't know that for whatever reason, but I love the kind of slow burn of the plot. I love the kind of Obi-Wan detective story and whatnot. The love story and it's just garbage, but the rest of it. Like Obi-Wan doing the whole detective thing I thought was great. I loved that part of it.
I love the fact that because it was filmed in Sydney, and obviously Bex and I are New Zealanders. I know, it's strange. They used a lot of actors from New Zealand and Australia, and Boba Fett is played by Temuera Morrison. I think this is like the fourth time in a fourth different podcast we've mentioned this to someone. But what I love the fact about is that, it could be that one or the first one, Obi-Wan knocks on the door and his little kid shows up and he's like, "Sup, cuz? I'm here to talk to your father." I'll just go grab him, bro. "Hey, Dad, there's a guy here for you." Like, it's real hoary Kiwi. You know, like, that's basically our redneck. So, you know, whenever anyone does American, they're like, "Hey, y'all, we're Americans right now. Yeah, vote Trump. Woohoo!" You know, that kind of thing. Our version is, "Oh, yeah, cuz, yeah, sweet as, bro. You know, just go get the car. We'll be sweet as. You know, good, so good."
Oh, my God.
That kind of thing. I'm available for voiceovers and for... No, but it's that kind of thing. So to think that, you know, when you're a kid watching these movies, they're all American or English actors speaking all prim and proper and everything else like that, and then out of nowhere you hear, "Oh yeah, cuz, oh yeah, g'day Obi-Wan, how are you?" It's like, dude, no.
It was probably the first time that a Kiwi really went as far as to be in an American film anyway. Yeah. Not in a particularly notable film, you know.
Yeah. They've been in like little ones sprinkled here and there, and they're taking over now with Archie or whatever it is.
Well, because Tim Morrison has been in so many American movies now, it's not funny. Like, he was in Vertical Limit, he was the police, he was the chopper operator.
My other favourite one is, have you seen Training Day? Stupid question.
When it came out, but yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. You remember the Mexican guy in that one who was about to shoot Ethan Hawke in the bathtub?
Yeah.
Yep, he's a Kiwi. His name's Cliff Curtis. And he starred in Once the Warriors with Temuera Morrison. So, and Cliff Curtis has been in a lot of movies where he's the Middle Eastern or the Mexican or the thingy.
Yeah,
and now
he looks Middle Eastern.
And now he's in Fear the Walking Dead as the main character, if you watch that or not. And it's funny because even in that, he still uses a kind of a mash between American and Kiwi. Yeah. So every now and then he'll be... we've got to fight these zombies, man. We got to get out of here, cause sweetheart. And it's real, like, dude, either just pick one. Because even in the story, he's from New Zealand, so just go, fuck it. I'm a speak Kiwi the entire time.
You know what I love though? Just completely deviating.
Bear in mind, I can't do an American accent, so I apologise if I've been ripping you guys.
You know, like completely deviating from the actual topic that we're talking about.
Oh yeah, Star Wars. Sorry. Yes.
I love how in Fear the Walking Dead he goes, "Yeah, hi, my name is Mr. Manawa." And they go, "Oh, hi, Mr. Manawa." Like, totally. He just said to you, "My name is Manawa." How did you get Manawa out of Manawa?
Yeah.
I don't get it, but you know.
We're doing a podcast now with Epic Film Guys. We've got Ninik in it, and it's very good. It's the same equivalent. Ninik. It's
exactly.
insane. It's insane.
Exactly. So we've got a couple more questions.
Bex has got probably the hardest question, other than your favourite character. Sorry, we still haven't.
I never did name my favorite.
We went up on Jar Jar Binks talk. Just like, see ya.
Very, very, very easy answer, unfortunately, but it's Luke Skywalker. I fucking love Luke Skywalker. I love his character arc in the original 3 films, and I love, and that's kind of when the new Jedi trailer came out, or the last Jedi trailer, I should, where he says it's time for the Jedi to end. I really love that philosophical bent that it seems like they're going to go back to, because if you really think about the prequels, and we've talked about them enough probably, but if you really think about the prequels are all about how dumb the Jedi are. The Jedi at that point have become just this kind of hypocritical and just pointless bureaucracy, to where, they ignore, Anakin's mom is a slave, but fuck it, we don't care. So they meanwhile they're just arguing trade routes and stuff like that. And a lot of people criticize Lucas for that, but I don't, because I think that was very, very deliberate. He meant to show that the Jedi mindset, the way that the Jedi behave, and like they have this very strict code, and then it was not a good code. Like, they were too rigid in their beliefs, and that's what led to their downfall. And then so you get to the original trilogy kind of sequentially, and you've got Luke Skywalker, who at the end of Jedi, like on the bridge, like he's fucking pissed. Like when Vader threatens to go after Leia, like he snaps and he just beats the shit out of the dude and cuts his hand off and everything, and he's got him right where he wants him. But then, it's Luke tapping into both sides of the Force, the light and the dark, and then he, just throws the lightsaber away. He's like, no, I'm not going to be that. I choose to be this, as in, like, he's not going to have that hardlined kind of mentality like the Jedi of old used to, where, once you start down, like Yoda says that in Empire, it's like, once you start down the dark path, forever will it dominate your destiny. And I don't think that Luke believes that. I think that Luke philosophically believes that somebody, think back to Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith, where he's like, you have to understand both points of view. You have to understand both sides of something to really be a master of it. And I think that that's Luke. I really, really do. And I love that about that. See, I get super fucking nerdy and philosophical.
No, that's great. Because he very much is yin and yang there, isn't he? He is both sides. Yeah. He's the dark and the light side of the Force.
Which is great.
It's true, though, because you do have, there's no point in trying to argue something if you don't know the other side.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is why I love having arguments or friendly discussions with born-again Christians.
No,
I know it's a totally different thing, whatever. But I worked at a radio station where we had one, and he was basically ripping everything. And I would come back with, well, you should be naked right now because you're wearing jeans and a t-shirt, and that's cross fabric, and it says in the Bible you shouldn't do that. Oh, I only listen to the new Bible, the New Testament. I don't listen to the old one. You can't say that. That's like saying I only drive the back seat of the car, not the front. It's an entire thing. And we'd have these big arguments where it gets to the point that our boss would be like, dudes, fuck up. It's not going to get anywhere. As always, shut up and get back to work. But
that's one of the great things that I love about Sith as well is, Palpatine's an evil fuck, and the entire prequel trilogy is about him coming to power and him basically enslaving the galaxy and overthrowing everything, which is fantastic. But in Revenge of the Sith, one thing that he says that I really, really love, that I believe is absolutely true, is he calls the Jedi narrow-minded and dogmatic, and they absolutely are.
Yeah.
In the prequels, they absolutely are. Like, they have their very rigid worldview, and it's to their downfall.
Yeah. Well, they weren't going to take Anakin. You remember they checked him for his. Is it? I'm sorry, my brain is so tired. But they checked him for his. Is it midichlorians? Is that the way we say?
No, we don't say that word.
Yeah,
but you know what I mean. But they were checking him, and they were just not going to take him because of that. And it's like, you're a dick.
Yeah. And now you turn to the back.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, though, about the new trilogy and the new ones and all that stuff, as you said, Luke went from being the dude about know nothing to the guy saying, no, I'm going to pick my destiny, to then hiding out for 20 years when no one can find him and everything else of this, right? This is what makes me laugh, is that they found him on is it the original ruins of the first temple of the Jedi? Is that something like that?
Maybe. I don't know.
I haven't really
into
said.
The rumors are that that's where they find him. That's where they are.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm looking for someone, normally I'd look at their house, their work, or some places which may be of interest. wouldn't the first ruins of the first Jedi Council or the first temple or wherever it is or something like that, wouldn't that be a good place to at least look at one point?
Yeah, potentially.
It's not a
I think
huge
that's one
island.
of those.
It's not like